Welcome to Joe's Recaps. In this video, we are going to comment a movie called The Chef. Carl Kasper is a talented chef. He works as a head chef in a well-known restaurant. His mainstay menu at the restaurant is loved by many people. But because of his busy life in the restaurant, he lost the most precious thing in his life, his family. His son Percy have to take turns being cared for. Even when Carl is with Percy, he is still busy looking for ingredients for a new menu that will be served to critics as well as food bloggers who will judge his restaurant menu. After they spend some time together, Carl returned to the kitchen to prepare the dish. He was also assisted by all his assistants. His closest assistants are Martin and Tony. The restaurant manager Molly also helped him. But before the new menu was finished, the restaurant owner Riva came to stop Carl from serving. Riva ordered Carl to cook the same menu as every day. According to him, the menu is the best menu that is always liked by many people. But Carl told that the menu was old-fashioned, because it had been served every day for 5 years. And if it were served to a food blogger named Ramsay, it would destroy Carl's reputation as a chef, as well as the reputation of the restaurant. But Riva sticks to his decision, so Carl cooked the same menu as usual.
For more videos like this, subscribe and click the notification bell.
The next day, Carl and all his friends waited for the results of the rating. Initially, the reviews were pretty good as Ramsay had tasted Carl's food 10 years ago. However, Ramsay considers the taste and creativity to be average now. Therefore, the restaurant is rated with 2 stars. Of course, with this review, Carl was very disappointed. Carl also told his ex-wife Inez that Ramsay seemed intent on bringing him down, but Inez tries to cheer him up. Also, she suggested Carl to spend more time with Percy, but still Carl looked uninspired. To relieve his disappointment, Carl busied himself in the kitchen and made new menus. In the morning, Martin was surprised that Carl was already in the kitchen. Martin tried Carl's new menu and was pleasantly surprised by the taste. Tony also told that it tasted really good. Carl's friends advised him to ignore the comments on Twitter, but Carl wasn't aware of Twitter and social media. Therefore, he asked them to show it. In unison, they tried to divert the conversation so that Carl did not know the comments on Twitter. The next day, Carl prepared breakfast for Percy. Still curious, Carl asked Percy to create a Twitter account and teach him how to use it. Suddenly, Percy was surprised to see Ramsay's criticism, which went viral. At that time, Percy likes spending time with his father. He wants to go back to how he used to be when his father and mother were still together. Of course, Carl finds it hard to answer this. Carl just said that even though they were separated, they were still good friends. In the evening, Carl used Twitter himself. He finally found out about Ramsay's criticism and comments. Of course, it made him angry, so Carl decided to get back at Ramsay. But he made a mistake and instead replied to Ramsay's comments directly, so all Twitter users can see it. In the morning, Percy was very surprised because his father had thousands of comments. That's because Carl exchanged comments with Ramsay. Ramsay insulted Carl's cooking again, and Carl didn't stay still. Finally, Carl challenged Ramsay to come to his restaurant and taste his newest menu. The challenge immediately went viral. That night, the restaurant had many visitors. In fact, it is the busiest day since the restaurant opened. But Carl's new menu was rejected by Riva again. He told Carl to cook the same menu as usual. Tension between Carl and Riva went up. Carl maintains his pride as a chef, but Riva still doesn't care about Carl's challenge to Ramsay. According to him, for 10 years, the restaurant has remained busy with the same menu. Their debate reached its climax. Carl decided to step down as head chef and leave his job. Carl was now filled with disappointment. He tries to calm himself down at home by cooking. On the other hand, Ramsay, who had now arrived at the restaurant, was disappointed. Because he was given the same dish as before, he didn't even see Carl in the kitchen. Because of his disappointment, Ramsay returned to writing on Twitter. He told that Carl had no more food on the menu and was afraid to compete. After reading that comment, Carl's patience ran out. He went to the restaurant and got angry with Ramsay. Even Carl said that Ramsay was clueless about food and the hard work of the chefs. But unexpectedly, in that situation, the visitors recorded it. Then the video was spread widely and caused Carl's reputation to be destroyed. And Carl was refused to work in any restaurant. Therefore, Inez wanted to help Carl. He got an offer to be a chef on Hell's Kitchen, but he turned down the offer. Later, he was told by Inez to open a food truck business, but Carl still refused. He He wanted to cook as a chef in a restaurant. A few days later, Carl came to Inez's house to meet Percy, but Percy didn't want to meet him because Carl had canceled their vacation appointment. Inez tells Carl that she and Percy are going to Miami to meet her father. She also invited Carl to come along. Initially, Carl refused because he had no money, but he finally agreed after Inez persuaded him by saying that Carl could spend time with Percy and also forget about his problems for a moment. Sometime later, they arrived in Miami. There they attended a show of Inez's father. Percy had the happy times with his father and mother that he hadn't felt in a long time. While chatting with Inez's father, Carl ate a sandwich and told it was delicious. But according to Inez, Carl's is much better. Because of Inez's words, Carl decided to consider running a food truck business. Of course, Inez was very supportive of it. After that, Carl went to see Marvin, Inez's ex-husband. Carl decided to buy Marvin used food truck. After waiting for a while, the truck finally arrived in a very worrying condition. Carl and Percy spent time together. They cleaned the truck and even shared tasks. After the two of them finished cleaning it, they then went to shop for cooking utensils. There was a large cooking utensil that was difficult to fit in the truck. Carl turned to Marvin workers for help, but they ignored him. When Carl tried to enter it himself, suddenly Martin came. He left his job at the restaurant and preferred to help Carl, but they both couldn't put the utensil in. So Martin, who can speak Spanish, asked the workers to help him. After everything was done, Carl, Martin and Percy made the food that was distributed to the workers earlier. They were Carl's first customers. In the evening, they rested while planning tomorrow's sale. When Carl and Percy were going back to the hotel, Martin asked permission to paint the truck first to make it look more attractive. Now, their food truck has been painted. The three of them were ready to leave. On their first trip, Percy tweeted that his father's food truck would stop in every city and every crowd. At each stop, they prepared a different menu. This made their food truck flooded with customers. They passed city after city. Percy is always actively posting his journey, which makes people even more curious about Carl, who used to be trending. Now, they stopped in a city. There Carl and Percy took time out for a walk. Of course, they also enjoy some food. When they returned, they were surprised by a very long queue of customers. Carl and Martin finally found out that it was all because of Percy, who always posted their trip. Shortly, they continued their journey. When they stopped at a crowd, Inez contacted Carl. She said that she was happy to see their happiness. However, due to the busy situation, Carl accidentally said that he loves Inez. In the evening, while enjoying a music concert, Carl selfies with Percy. Carl told Percy that he really enjoyed working with him. But after that, Carl told Percy to go home and go back to his mother because Percy had to continue to school. It made Percy sad. He had to be separated from his father again. Sometime later, Percy finally returned home accompanied by Carl. When Carl got home, he opened an email from Percy which contained a collection of videos of their happy moments. After seeing the video, Carl thinks. Later he called Percy to say that he would allow Percy to help him back at the food truck. Of course, after Percy came home from school. Now, their food truck is filled with customers again. Inez is also there to help, but unexpectedly from behind the crowd, Ramsey appeared. He wanted to talk to Carl. Ramsey apologized and explained that all his words were job demands, because according to him, to be popular in online media needs something to be trending. But his goal to meet Carl is not just that. Ramsey invited Carl to work together in his restaurant. 6 months later, their restaurant business finally started. The restaurant is very different from the previous one, because now Carl is free to cook whatever he wants. Carl also is back together with Inez. Their family happiness finally returned. For more videos like this, subscribe and click the notification bell. And don't forget to hit the like button. Also, you can check our other videos. Enjoy and take care.